What up, though, good people? It's your boy Rob, man. Welcome to Sports Talk with Rob. You know what I'm saying? Got another good video for y'all, man. This is going to be an interview show, man. My first interview on this channel. Love watching this guy play growing up, man. One of my favorite college players growing up. And, he have a good story to tell. I want y'all to give it up to Brandon Cotton. What up, though?
Appreciate it, bro.
What up,
What's
though?
going on, man? You good?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to finally make this interview happen, man. First off, man, how you doing, man? How everything been with you?
Doing good, man. Just raising my four kids, man, and just working, man. Just being a father, man, and things like that, man.
Yeah, for
How you
sure.
doing? You doing all right?
Oh yeah, I can't complain, man. Same here, and raising my three girls. Got my wife and everything. So yeah, I ain't got no complaints, man.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you reaching out to me, man, on this, man. I really appreciate it.
For sure, for sure. So let's start off from the beginning, man. Born and raised in Detroit. Saying, tell me a little bit about your childhood, man.
Well, childhood, man, like you said, man, I was born and raised here in Detroit, Michigan, man. I'm from the east side of Detroit, Macon, Van Dyke area. Seaburn to be exact. Grew up in that area. Majority of my whole life, man. So growing up, I went to Jones Elementary. Then I transferred over to Joyce, which is on the east side. Joyce Elementary. That's why I started playing ball at things like that, man. I grew up playing in the park of my neighborhood, man. All through the parks on the east side of Detroit. Just grew up playing, just doing that, man. And that's honestly when I discovered, man, I was a solid ball player at the time.
How old was you when you started playing basketball?
I was 8 years old. I was eight. I was actually in the third grade. I was going to Joyce, and
Mm-hmm.
we had gym class, and I just started playing ball. I didn't even know what I was really doing. I looked up, and everybody was just amazed because I was so good at such a young age. And at that time, only fourth and fifth graders can play. They didn't allow third graders to play at the time.
Right.
And the coach was pushing for me to get on the team in the third grade, so I had to wait a year. It was just the league rules.
Okay. Okay. So like, who? So your coach, said basically, saw you like, hey, he a natural talent. You
Yeah,
know.
he was a gym teacher. He was
Yeah.
the PE teacher,
He.
of
Oh,
course. So
okay.
yeah, he's a gym teacher. And he's also the head basketball coach of my elementary team. And like I said, he was doing everything he could to get me on the team in the third grade. Like I said, the league rules was you had to be a fourth or a fifth grader to play.
Okay. 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 And then, so did you like basketball like before you start picking up a basketball? Like, was it like one of your favorite sports?
Man, you know what? My mom is a big, like, one of the biggest Michael Jordan fans you'll ever meet. Michael Jordan and Kobe.
Yeah.
So, I remember watching Jordan when I was 6 years old when he played against Magic in the 91 finals.
Mm,
Heard my mom and my auntie Trina. My auntie Trina was a big Detroit Piston fan,
right.
and
Right.
my mom was a Chicago Bull fan. So, um, you know, I just remember them watching the night games. They used to come on at night at 10 o'clock at night, and they used to just be arguing, going back and forth with each other when Jordan used to play against Isaiah. So I just remember those days, just watching Jordan grow up, man. I was watching him. Like, yeah, I remember watching Jordan exactly in the 91 finals.
Okay. So when you start playing organized basketball, like what was like your parents were saying, like what were people were saying, saying when you start playing organized basketball? Was this
You know what?
like oh damn, he got some here.
Yeah, you know what? Like I said, man, I discovered how good I was or was going to be when I was in third grade. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even go home and tell my mom, like everybody was amazed, like this dude only in third grade and he can play that good. So I didn't even know I was that good, man. I just was playing off just natural talent, just God gifted ability, man. I didn't even know what I was doing. I just picked up the ball and I was just gifted.
It's gifted like that.
Yeah,
What
like everyone, like I was watching Jordan, like, oh, I want to be an NBA player. It just obviously I was a kid in gym class, third grade. We active, we want to play. So I picked up a ball and I just discovered I was good.
you remember your like how many points you scored your first game?
So I remember in gym class, like in the third, like I said, I was in third grade. I remember in gym class,
Yeah.
We was playing. We had a split class, so I had classes with fourth graders also. It was third and fourth grade gym class, and I think everybody was so amazed. Like I remember, like people coming in, all the staff coming in watching me play because we just had free play,
Mm-hmm.
and they couldn't believe I was that good at such a young age. Like I remember, staff, lunch ladies was just they had just watched.
Right.
Like I said, man, I didn't even know what I was doing. I just picked up a ball, just being a kid, and I was talented.
You're just talented, man. That's
Yeah,
amazing. That's amazing,
yeah.
bro. So, who were some players growing up? Like you were like, okay, I want to take a little bit from his game, a little bit. Or I want to take this a little bit from his game.
Well,
Who were some players?
obviously Jordan. Obviously, I got my competitive spirit, and anybody that know me, ever play with me before, they'd tell you like Brandon was the ultimate competitor.
Yeah.
Like I would rather have 10 points and beat you rather than me have 40 and you got the up to say, hey, we beat y'all.
Right.
So obviously Jordan, back to what you asked, obviously Jordan, I looked up to Jordan growing up because Jordan's my era, and Kobe Bryant, man, I just feel like, those were the guys I took my competitive drive from. When I got to high school, it was the Allen Iverson era.
Mm-hmm.
So I really started trying to I took a little something out of everybody's book. I took something out of Kobe book, Jordan book, Iverson book. Like I looked up to those guys coming up, especially when I was in high school. I
Was
tried to mock that game and mimic that game. That's so I looked up to those guys just coming up. Those are my guys that I looked up to.
was AI? Did you look up to AI because because he was a smaller guard, so you probably want to just see, how he could like finesse the game for his size.
Yeah, so I looked up, like I said, Iverson was around the time when tattoos was popular.
Yeah.
Around that time, the 2000, I think it was 2001. I had started getting tattoos. I had a lot of tattoos in high school. I probably had about over 10 tattoos, and they was always visible in high school.
Yeah.
So people just started calling me Iverson. Plus, I wasn't that tall. I was only 6 feet
Yeah.
at the most. So I looked at like I said, I looked at his competitive drive. I would take things out of his catalog, the way he played, the moves he made. I would just go and just try to mock those moves, stuff like that from him.
Yeah. Shout out to
So
your
definitely in high school, I would say it was Kobe and Iverson for sure in high school.
Hey, shout out to your parents for allowing you to have tattoos in high school because I remember asking my mom to
Right.
get some tattoos. She was like, "Hell no!" But shout out to your parents letting you get some tattoos.
Yeah, man. So what happened with that, man? I got one tattoo. My mom allowed me to get a tattoo at
Yeah,
16. She allowed me to get my first one. And it became like a disease, man. I just started getting them and getting them and getting them. I looked up, I almost had a sleeve in high school. I'm like, dang,
yeah,
it just was addictive. And that was a thing back when I was playing.
yeah. So you went to Saint Martin de Porres, right?
Yes, sir. Yep. St.
Yeah.
Martin de Porres. It's on the west side of Detroit, by
So
6 Mile and Schaefer area.
I mean, was that also why did you go to that school, or what did you have other schools that you wanted to go to?
Well, so what happened? It's a crazy story, man. So I play, like I said, I'm gonna take this back from elementary because this is how I started. I started. We had an all-star game in elementary, and
Mm-hmm.
obviously the coach who has the best record gets to coach the all-star team. His name is Duran Shepard. He's my high school coach.
Mm.
He was a coach. He was a coach at a rival school that we played against. He was a coach at the school called Mayotte, still on the east side of Detroit. They was
Mm-hmm.
one of our rivals in elementary school. And he came up with a brilliant idea. He started the AAU program. So what he did was he took all the all-stars from that league and
Mm-hmm.
created the AAU team.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was like he took all of the top players from the league and same people who he coached in the All-Star game. He got with their parents and said, "I'm gonna start an AAU traveling team." This when I was we started doing that the summer of us going to the sixth grade.
Man, that's dope.
We was called the All Stars. People back in our area, they definitely know. They definitely know who we are.
Did you like, you hear a lot of stories from guys saying like, when they get into sports, they kind of save their life from being involved in certain things, maybe in their neighborhood. Did you felt that way? Like, damn,
Oh yeah, like the area I'm from, man. Like I said, I'm from Mack and Van Dyke area, man. That's I mean, it's a lot of bad areas in Detroit, or neighborhood wise in Detroit. I mean, we all come from different parts of Detroit, but definitely in my neighborhood, man, I was like one of the few guys that was really on the positive track to do something in life. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's was to make an NBA, just to go to college, just to graduate high school, that wasn't really common in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody from that area tell you that wasn't a common thing. So I was kind of like at the time a neighborhood hero when I was coming up in high school and college, because that everybody was pushing for me to go pro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, everybody's like, oh, he going to the league. Cause like I said, they want from where I'm from, they want that one comment from off Mac and Van Dyke.
Yeah, right. Yeah, man. Sports is like, man, like when I hear people like, they get into sports, bro, it's like people understand, like, man, so many life lessons you learn from sports. Sports can help you, like you said, not following the wrong crowd. It takes like shout out to you, your coach, bring y'all together. You know what I'm saying, creating an AAU team. You know what I'm saying, and it really take a village. You know what I'm saying, that brings stuff like that together. So and that's dope.
Definitely.
So okay, so you went to St. Martin de Porres, right? Now you said when you was a kid, you just knew you had a natural talent, so you knew you were just, people knew you was good. All right.
Yeah.
So which grade in high school did you realize, like, okay, damn? Because you say you had people in your ear, like, oh, he might go pro.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like even through middle school. Even through middle school, when I went to a school called Whitney Young in middle school. They didn't have a basketball team, but we still had gym class in middle school also.
Yeah.
So man, I was scoring like no over exaggeration, man. Like our gym teacher that let us play. He had leagues, like he had like a 14 league at gym class. Dude, I was scoring like 25, like in the 6th grade, and people were just amazed. They was just like, dang, like you real good. Like even like I was in the 6th grade, the 8th graders was coming up to me like, man, like, you know what I'm saying, like you got what it take and all that stuff. So at the time, I still was, and anybody, like I said, anybody who know me know I'm humble. I was just like, yeah, I can play, but I was always just hungry to get better and better and better.
So how old was you in high school when you start seeing, like, I don't know, when schools was interested, when you start getting like
well, like I said, my AAU team was so good. We all had offers. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we was the best players. Like he took the best players from that league and put them on one team. So everybody had their own offers and stuff like that. But I really knew how good I was probably the summer going into the 9th grade. When I was going to the Porres, and we would have open gym and individual workouts. And obviously I had to compete against seniors and juniors. And I was still a 14-year-old kid. And I held my own against them. So that's when I really knew, like, okay, like, I mean, I knew in middle school I was good, but like going into high school that summer, I knew, like, okay, I got what it takes. Like, I probably could be an NBA player one day.
Right. And you killed your high school season, damn near averaged like 30 points a game, and you end up getting a scholarship to Michigan State first.
Yeah.
Right?
Correct. Yes, sir.
And so, okay, tell me about that. Getting your scholarship to Michigan State, like what's going through your mind? Like how your family feeling? How you feeling at this moment?
So, man, like I said, everything just took off, man. Like in the summer of me going to becoming a junior. The summer of me heading to my junior year at the Porres, I played my AAU coach. Our team was the All-Stars. Right? Mm-hmm. We was called the All-Stars. My coach let me play with the family. I played for Coach Speedy Walker, Durant Walker.
Yeah.
Very known guy, very good guy, man. That's my guy. I played with the family, and we went to this tournament called Boo Williams. It's in Virginia. The family was a Nike team, so we was on the AAU circuit. We was playing against the best teams, best players in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So I was used to doing that, playing with the All-Stars, but it just wasn't the politics one there. So I got with the family. That's when I seen the players' rankings and all this stuff. We was going to Boo Williams to this big Nike Invitational, and I was just being a humble kid, just going out there playing my game, competing at a high level. And that whole weekend, man, like no exaggeration, dude, I averaged like 35 that whole weekend against the best players in the country. This was at Boo Williams. This is the summer of me going into my junior year.
Wow, man.
So that summer, that's when everybody just started calling me. I looked up, I was ranked the #1 point guard in the country at one point off that summer. of course, I was getting letters. I was getting handwritten letters from coaches, not the little tight ones that they send to everybody. I was getting personal letters from head coaches
Oh, that's
all over,
serious.
from the Big Ten, the ACC, Duke recruited me. I got recruited by every school like that summer because I got a chance to get in front of on a national stage playing against the best of the best.
Mm.
And to my credit, I held my own. So, going into my junior year, Izzo offered me a scholarship. I mean, I had offers from that summer. I had an offer from Duke. I had an offer from Michigan State, from Michigan. Had an offer from Purdue. This is just in that one summer, me going into my junior year.
Yeah.
I had like 7 offers already, and I wasn't even in junior high school already. And so Izzo, to his credit, man, his staff, him and his coaching staff, they did a heck of a job with selling their program. Obviously I'm from Michigan, so I kept up with Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
I seen they had just won a championship in 2000 with my team. Them, so I committed. I committed to Michigan State going into my junior year. I didn't even go through the recruiting process. I committed so early.
Yeah. So, and well, like we're gonna talk about Izzo a little bit later as well. But like what did he say to you? You know what I'm saying? Like made you like okay, the made
Man,
you just want to
it was
commit
just
early.
man, it was just the man. They was very adamant about getting me.
Yeah.
They was showing they did home visits to my house. They stayed at my open gyms at my high school. I remember all their assistants would come. They would just take turns, and then Izzo started coming to watch me just in practice. It wasn't even no game going on, stuff, nothing like that. I can just have just a normal practice. Long as the recruiting period is open for college coaches, they was always there.
Mm-hmm.
They was always there, man. Even after I committed, they still came just to make sure, I stayed on course, stayed on track. But before I committed, man, they just was, like I said, they was just very adamant, man. They sold the program to me. Me and my mom went up there, man, and I like what I seen. I seen all the pros that came out of this program, and I felt like, hey, I know I'm just as good as these guys, and I plan on getting better by the year. So, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and go here. I made my decision pretty early.
That's what's up, bro. So you at this point you're committed to Michigan State, and you achieved something that a lot of high school players wish they could achieve one day, or some wish they could have achieved, and you became
Yeah.
an All-American.
Yes, sir.
All-American, and this class was dope. I mean, shit, I seen Chris Paul, Kendrick Perkins,
Yeah, our class, man.
LeBron, Shannon Brown. I
Yeah.
mean, just a bunch of NBA players, Hall of Famers.
Yep.
First off, before we talk about that, talk about your experience being an All-American. Once you heard that news, how did that feel for you? Like just
Man, so what happened was, like I said, I played for the family. It was a crazy story. I played for the family at the time. The family it was so many good guards that came through that program way before me. I mean, guys like James Diaz, Ricky Paul. They just had a bunch of studs back when I was younger. They older than me. They come out 99, 2000. Maurice Seawright. Man, them guys was good. They went to Syracuse, Missouri, Michigan. They was good, and they didn't make the McDonald game. So I knew that was one of my goals. You know what I'm saying? Just watching Kobe them come through the McDonald game, watching all the greats come through the McDonald game. That was always one of my I started winning state championship. My dream was to be a McDonald's All-American. Mm-hmm. So I was like, how can I be a McDonald's? So like I said, when I played for the family, they didn't have none. I had an open weekend, and I went to go play with this team called the Michigan Hurricanes. And that weekend, it was the top 5 players from the state in the 2003 class. We was all on one team. It was the Adidas Big Time in Vegas. So our starting 5 was me, Deion Harris, Brandon Jenkins, Olu Famatini, and Walter Waters. We was the top 5 players in the 03 class.
Yeah.
And I just performed at a high level then at the Adidas circuit. So I performed on the Nike circuit at a high level, and I performed on the Adidas circuit at a high level. So I'm like, ain't nothing else more I can do. I'm putting up numbers against the best players in my class in the country. Yeah. So I was over my one of my mentors' house. His name is Pete. He my guy, man. He trained me in basketball and things like that. He always developed me, opened the gym up for me, and he helped me develop my game. And I was over his house, and they announced all the participants, and I seen Brandon Kahn from Detroit. I was like, wow, because at the time it wasn't even no guys from Detroit that made the McDonald game since like '95. We had like an 8-year drought. I'm talking about from Detroit. We had guys in Michigan from like Saginaw, Flint that made McDonald's, of course. But this in the city of Detroit, it was a drop from like 95 to 2003. It was no McDonald's All-Americans.
Yeah.
That played in the city of Detroit. So I ain't gonna say I was shocked because I know I put in the work.
Yeah.
But to see my name on it, I was just like, wow, like I'm a McDonald's All-American. You know, that was big to me because that was one of my dreams.
Oh yeah, and then for most cats, you getting all the McDonald game, you just one step closer from your dream.
You just one step closer. When I seen that, I'm like, oh, I'm lead. Just through the politics on the McDonald game. I can go to college and average 15. As long as I can stand, as long as my game is not declining, I'm gonna go because I got the politics to back me up now.
Yeah.
And it was just a dream, man, to be a McDonald's, man. Like that just was the icing on the cake on top of winning my state championship.
Nobody can ever take that away from you, bro.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, bro.
Let's talk about that experience, man. Also, I remember, what's funny? I was watching LeBron movie that he just dropped.
Yeah.
I had to like go back to like All American stuff, and I remember I was watching. I think in the dunk contest, was it Shannon Brown and LeBron?
It was Shannon LeBron. It was Shannon Brown and LeBron. That was the two finals.
You was right next to him. I'm like, oh goddamn.
Yeah. Me and Shannon went to Michigan. Me and Shannon we went to Michigan State together. He's my roommate.
Yeah.
Shannon was my roommate.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna talk about that too, man. So let's talk about this, bro, because let's talk about LeBron for a minute. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've been on this show. People might think I got something against Jordan, in which I don't. I actually love him.
For sure.
Yeah, I just don't appreciate the hate LeBron get. You know what I'm saying? Or when people have their reason why Jordan is better, it's pretty just one-sided. It's never, it's never it's never the big picture. Like, okay, tell me like why, like multiple reasons why he's better. You know what I'm saying? Because I could come out with some arguments why I would say LeBron might be better than Jordan. You know what I'm saying? That's not to discredit Jordan. So tell me about LeBron. Like at this time, he got the hype. Everybody, he's the one. And now we heard this before from players before. He's not like we always hear people like say, oh, he's the one. He's the next this and that.
You heard,
But sometimes it might not, end up that way.
Mm-hmm.
I will see when I see like guys like Steven Jackson, Rip Hamilton. They say when they first saw Kobe in the All American game, they were like, "Oh, they already knew he's the one." Was that when you see LeBron, right? When you used to talk to your peers, where everybody was like, he gonna be that guy for sure.
Man, see, it's funny. It's funny we talk about LeBron because a lot of people, like if you go on my Facebook page, they're like, man, Brad, he the biggest LeBron hater. He jealous of LeBron and stuff like that because I troll a lot because I'm a Michael Jordan guy and I'm a Kobe Bryant guy. So I troll a lot with LeBron. You know what I'm saying? But man, on a serious note, I tell people this all the time, man, because they, like I said, they think I'm just the biggest LeBron hater because I'm critical on people's game. I'm critical on everybody's game.
For sure.
But like, and I seen him in high school when I actually played against that man in high school in Detroit, I was running circles around people. Like I was the fastest guy in my conference, things like that. I was the fast guy on my team. When I played against him, dude, I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. Like he was faster than me. He was like ridiculous strong, super athletic. And it was funny because that whole weekend, everybody's like, I'm locking him up. Like he ain't gonna do that on me. He ain't, everybody wanted to, try to make a name and say they outplayed LeBron. And I'm sitting back thinking like, bro, he on a whole different level than all of us. And we all McDonald's. We supposed to be in the same, criteria that in that game. But I'm like, dude, I got to give it up. He was way better than all of us, and it wasn't even close. I mean, and the game showed that in itself.
Yeah. How was he as a person? Because you see
cool man, very, very humble man. I mean, for him to have all that for him to have all that pressure that he had on him. He had a man, the pressure he had on him, and to be honest, he surpassed what he was supposed to do. You know, he got. I mean, I don't know what much more can he do. You know, what I'm saying, like I said, I just be critical when they compare him to Mike and Kobe.
Yeah,
I'd be critical on that, but man, but he surpassed everything, man. It's off the court, he was good. He was vibing with the people. He wasn't trying to show that he bigger than nobody. He was joking with everybody. He was familiar with all the players. He even knew who I was, and I never met him a day in my life.
right.
He had cracked a joke with me. He's like, "Oh, that's B Cotton." He cracked a joke with me in the elevator when I got there.
Man,
He just humble, man. He was like I said, it was a good experience, man. And like I said, obviously the game was in Cleveland. It was in his hometown,
mm.
and it was a dope weekend, man. He treated everybody like he didn't act like he was better than none of us. He treated everybody with the same respect.
And that's why I get so like, cause I'm a Kobe fan all day. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
for sure,
It's
for
Kobe
sure.
all day, man. But it's like, and like I said, I got respect for Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I love. I mean, should we all wear his damn shoes? So it's like you
Yeah,
love something about
and then one thing, man, it's eras. You know what I'm saying? Like,
him.
I was born in 1985, so people, if somebody's born in 95 versus 85, they gonna say Kobe the best. They gonna say LeBron the best because that's their generation. They can go off what they seen. I was just my mind was just had me watching Jordan at a young age, so I knew about Jordan. But Jordan not even really my era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Kobe is more of my era
yeah,
besides Jordan. Now, obviously LeBron was the same year, so
yeah.
but Kobe is more of, like I said, of my era. He was the guy that was in his prime when I was in high school and stuff like that. Jordan was out the league. He was done winning championships by that time.
Yeah, like I said, I think my only problem is why I really stick up for LeBron a lot. I just don't like the disrespect. Like, all right, it's one thing you keep a basketball, but a lot of times when I talk to people, it just be personal shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yeah, see, like I said, I just critique his game, like, and
yeah,
I only critique like just me just having basketball talk. Of course, some people take it to the heart. Like I said, oh, he's the biggest LeBron. Like I just say, like, I don't think he as the killer like Mike and Kobe was. That's not like on his game
no, yeah,
because
you're right.
he a way better passer than them. You know what I'm saying? So they ain't no knock on his game. They can't. LeBron is probably besides Magic, LeBron probably the best passer I ever seen.
Yeah, I mean that's who
On
they
any
should
level.
compare him. That's who they
Yeah.
should compare him with Magic and man, it should be Magic and LeBron. I think once they start putting the Jordan next to it.
That's when they're not even the same player. He
Mm-hmm,
more of a Magic Johnson type player. He's an athletic Magic Johnson.
mm-hmm, absolutely.
So like I said, man, I think that's the best part of his game is passing. Me
Mm-hmm.
personally. So
Yeah.
that's a plus on top of him being an all-time leading scorer. That's big. You can't take that away from him.
So Shannon Brown, right? So y'all both at that time was about to you gonna play at Michigan State. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean how was like saying how was that conversation you and Shannon like y'all from different different states I think he from Ohio.
No, Shannon from Chicago. He from Illinois. He
Oh damn,
yeah, Shannon from Maywood, Illinois. Like
Illinois.
just right
Okay,
outside of Chicago. Yeah.
so
So it's funny because Shannon played for this team called the Illinois Warriors. They was a Nike team.
yeah,
So we competed against them on a circuit. And um Izzo was telling me like, I'm pushing for Shannon Brown because at the time I think I was the number 1 or 2 point guard in the country. Shannon was for sure the number 1 shooting guard in the country.
mm-hmm,
So he damn near got the best backcourt in the nation to commit. Because like I said, we was competing against each other. So we was there the whole weekend, whether we stay in the same hotel, we catch each other during the middle of our games, we kicking it. And Shannon just was like, yo, I heard you might be committing to Michigan State. And I was real with him. I was like, yeah, because he was thinking about going to Kansas at the time.
mm,
So once he found out that I was going to Michigan State, I think that persuaded him to go more because not to sound big head, nothing, I had get him some work that weekend. So he knew I was good. So he was like, okay, he going to Michigan State. I'm going to go ahead and rock and go to Michigan State. So
okay,
that's how that came about. He got confirmation. He asked me, was I going? I'm like, yeah, I'm going for sure. And
yeah,
that's I think that's what persuaded him to go there.
okay. So got the All American game out the way. Now it's time to put in that real work. You're going to Michigan State. Now, I got a question. Like I was looking at the Michigan State stats, and
Hmm.
from looking from the stats, it looked like you didn't get that much playing time. I don't like. I'm trying to figure this out. You come All American, but not getting that much
Right.
playing time. What was the disconnect there?
Man, just to be honest with you, the disconnect was me.
Yeah,
I had everything what it took, man. You know what I'm saying? I came in to McDonald All American. Came in when at the time Michigan State didn't really have a true point guard then
yeah,
that was a playmaker. I was, Izzo. I'm quite sure if you ask Izzo, he'll testify and say, Brandon was our best playmaker, or we brought Brandon in there to be our best playmaker. I was just spoiled, man. Like I said, I was the best player on every team I played on. I was the best player. Every gym I went to, I was almost the best player. So I was so spoiled with just I was like I said, I was always a competitor, but I didn't know the definition of hard work. So when I got to Michigan State, it was five other Brandon Cottons. We was loaded with McDonald's All Americans at that time.
yeah,
So but the difference was them guys, Shannon was staying in the gym. Him and Allen, they would go back to the gym we'll have a 3-4 hour practice. They'd go shower, eat, and they right back in the gym at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, getting up shots. They just outworked me.
yeah,
So, but if we all come in there equal on the same level, talent wise, if they outworking you, they got the advantage on you because they putting in and working, you not. And I was up there, man. I didn't know the definition of hard work. I
yeah,
didn't know. I mean, I knew what it was to work hard because I worked hard in high school. I mean, I worked hard enough to be a McDonald. So I didn't display that Michigan State. I didn't do the extra things I needed to do. Like if we didn't have to practice, we didn't have to be in the gym working out. I didn't do it because that's how I kind of was in college and high school. I would just go to the gym and just hoop because
yeah,
I was naturally talented and not just naturally better than a lot of people. But
yeah,
at that level, at the D1 level, Big Ten, man, you gotta put in the work. And
yeah,
I just didn't understand it. I thought I could just play up on natural ability, and that didn't cut it. So when I didn't get when I didn't get on the court, didn't get rewarded, I took it personal, like, oh, Coach Izzo don't like me.
mm,
He only recruited me because he had to recruit me because I was the best guard in the state my year and all that stuff. But not mature enough to know like you're not putting in the work. You're
yeah,
not doing what it take to do to put you for me to play you over these guys because they put in the work and you not.
yeah,
So that's what happened with that. It was just me. It was my immaturity, man. I didn't want to work hard. It was nothing that Izzo did. He didn't do nothing shady to me. Ain't none of the staff ever do nothing shady. I ain't getting no trouble up there. None of that stuff, man. I just didn't. I didn't put the work in,
yeah,
and I just watched guys just surpass me. Get
yeah.
strong. They was getting stronger, stronger, stronger. Their jump shot was improving. However, man, mind you, they already was talented coming in the door, but they got better and better as the days and weeks went past, and I was just trying to play my natural ability. And those guys, they passed me up.
You
Just
know
that's
what?
all honesty.
Yeah, I appreciate you, like, saying that, because a few shows, one of my shows I did, I actually was talking about Russell Westbrook, and it was during the playoff series. I think when Clippers won the first game against the Suns. And I told people, I said on my show, that look, you can say what you want about Westbrook, call him
Hmm.
Westbrook, all that other goofy shit, but
Yeah.
one thing you can't say about him, that he don't work hard. And
No.
I was like, that's a major life lesson. Doesn't matter how good you are, how talented you are, how smart you are, hard work will just take you so far in life. It'll put you in rooms, or bring opportunities your way that you couldn't even imagine. So
Yeah, man. Like the old famous quote, my Perry Watson told me. That was my college coach at UAD. Perry Watson told me, man, you take a shortcut on the court, you gonna take one in life.
yeah,
And at the time, I heard him, but I didn't hear him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of it all came when as an adult, you see it like, dang, what coach was telling me 15 years ago, it came to pass.
let's talk a little bit about, because I'm gonna talk about a little bit about that Michigan State team a little bit.
Hmm.
Talk about Izzo for a minute, because now he not considered, he is an all time great now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
yeah, for sure, for
uh,
sure.
you think back, man, just talk about how him as a coach, his knowledge of the game, saying things that you learn, saying moving forward.
Man, with Izzo, what I learned, man, he always put us in position to win a game. Scouting reports was down to the T. Film sessions broke down was down to a T. He
Mm-hmm.
gave us everything to do in his power for us to go out there and get the job done. So X's and O's, man, is he top tier. Um, what amazed me about Izzo so much, man, he's really hard on you on the court, like amazingly hard on you. You'll be like, you just said that to me, but off the court, it's just he believed in you. You know what I'm saying? Like he know you got what it takes to get to that next level. And
Yeah.
so I was too immature. I just thought that he didn't like me. He just did what he had to do to get me to come up there. And in our reality, he put me because I was about to transfer. Told me and my mom in the office. He kind of, he was like, "Man, I didn't bring you. I didn't bring you up here to sit on no bench. I brought you up here to lead my team." But I wasn't trying to hear that. I seen Chris Paul and then playing at Wake Forest. I seen all the other guards, Mustafa Shakur playing at Arizona. All the other guards who I was ranked over or right there with in that class. Andrew Labrador, he was a McDonald's short guard from Ohio. He's starting at Oklahoma. I'm looking like, well, I'm the only guard, the top 5 guard in the country, not playing. So I wasn't trying to hear, everything what Izzo was saying. I was like, man, I want to play. All these other guys playing. But I didn't have the mindset like they also doing what it takes for them to stay on the court as an underclassman. You're not. I just thought because I'm Brandon Cotton, I should be playing.
Because we playing.
Yeah. That's just reality. That's what happened at Michigan State with me.
Yeah, man. I mean, unfortunately, not just players, but people just fall in that trap. You know what I'm saying? Like they just think they just too good for their own self sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, but everything is a learning experience, bro. I feel like, look, maybe you have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Just, I feel like everything we go to, it build character. So
Yeah.
but
Definitely.
let's talk about that Michigan State. Was that the year they went to the Final Four and they
No, so they went to the Final Four the year after that. They went to the Final Four. Like I said, I went to UOD, and that next year they went to the Final Four.
yeah,
That's when they had Shannon, they had
Paul Davis,
Allen Anderson, they had Mo Ager, Paul Davis. We was loaded. So
powerhouse.
that next year they went to the Final Four, and that was the year I had to sit out at UOD. I had to sit out that half that semester.
Yeah.
So I literally watched that team go to the Final Four. I'm like, I could have been out there with them.
And they went to the national
And
championship, right?
they went to the
Play Illinois, was
man.
that the year? Against Darren Williams and no.
No, they lost to North Carolina in the Final Four that year. I want to say
Okay. No,
because
yeah.
I know because North Carolina beat Illinois that year. They beat D. Brown and Darren Williams and them, Luther Head and them. They beat them.
Yeah,
Rashad McCann and Raymond Felton them and Sean May.
yeah.
They beat them. So yeah, they lost in the Final Four. But the point is, they still made it to the Final Four. And that I had went to a high school game that following year. And Izzo told me, he said, if I had you on that team, I had me another national championship. He seen me and told me that at the time I was going to Detroit Mercy then.
Yeah.
But he told me, he said, if I had you, he said, we would have for sure got a championship that year.
Damn, man, it's funny you missed it, man. That North Carolina team with Sean May and Raymond Felton.
Raymond Felton and Sean McCann, that was nice. That was real nice.
Yeah, man. Then they Illinois, Darren Williams. I ain't heard of Darren Williams all year to that damn Final Four. I'm like, oh
yeah.
Like this chubby, light skinned dude. Like, but so okay, so let me ask you this. At that time, before we talk about UOD, did a part of you like you like, damn man, like Izzo, he was fully invested in me, bro? Like, did you feel like you let him down? Like,
at the time, nope, not at that time. Like I said, he really when I told him I was transferring, that's when he was like, okay, like let me pamper him somewhat. Let me tell him that he gonna play. Let me know all this stuff. Like I said, I just weren't really trying to hear. I'm like, man, I'm trying to play. I'm trying to get on the court and play ball. I'm watching all these guys that I was ranked with or above or right, probably below. They playing. They getting publicity on ESPN, and I'm not. I was even watching Shannon play, and he was my roommate. You know what I'm saying? So I'm looking like, yo, why I'm the only one not playing? Like I said, I was too immature to say, you the reason you're not playing. You're not putting the work in.
Yeah, that's why it's very important too, also, because anybody watching, especially young people, if you're watching this, man, give me all some gems. the one he just said right now can't be focused on what everybody else doing.
Yeah.
Everybody path is their path. You have to control what you can control. You
Yeah.
know, and we have a
Definitely.
big problem like now with social media and shit like that. Everybody this and that, everybody doing this and that and pretending and shit. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
man, focus on what you need to do. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
and that's what I wasn't doing, man. I was focused on everybody else. I'm watching this guy play, this guy play. I'm like, man, coach don't like me. But like I said, even when I left and went to U was playing at UOD, I still didn't realize like you the reason that things didn't play out the way they were supposed to play out at state.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
UOD, what was like why UOD? Did you have other schools that you probably want to go to?
So it's crazy, man. When I was about to transfer from Michigan State, I didn't know where I was gonna go. I had lost so much confidence in myself and my game. I'm like, man, am I good enough to play on this level? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I wasn't mature enough to say, like, bro, all you gotta do is put in the work. You're gonna be fine. So I had hung out with one of my guys up at he went to Eastern, he taking class at Eastern and he stayed in an apartment up there. So I had just wanted to escape from reality. Everybody was calling my phone, man. What's going on? Where you going, man? What happened up at State? You transferring? Then Dick Vitale has said something like, Brandon Cotton, don't leave Michigan State. You're gonna regret it and all this stuff. So I try to escape the world for a second. And I went up to Ipsy to hang with my homeboy. And then people was calling me for a crazy story, man. Me and my mom was finna head to Clemson. I was finna go to Clemson for a visit. I was going to transfer to Clemson originally after I left Michigan State. I
Mm-hmm.
got caught in traffic at a snowstorm, man. It wasn't some guy did to stop me from going there because I completely missed my flight. Completely missed it. That was the first time that ever happened where something weird like that happened.
Right.
So I had to call the coach from Clemson. You know, coach, hey, it's a bad snowstorm in Detroit. He knew I wasn't lying. He checked the weather. He seen that my flight. I had missed my flight or whatever. And then Bakari Alexander. Um, he was an ex-player at Detroit Mercy, but he recruited me. He always told me, remember the Titans. And he always told me, like when I was going to Michigan State, you know, just remember us if things don't work out for you. So he tracked me now to this day. I don't even know how he even found me.
Right.
He called me and he saw me. At the time, I had shook Perry Washington's hands a few times because Perry knew, like, I'm not going to get Brandon Cotton. He's the best player in the state in his class. He's not going to come to Detroit. So I'm not going to even bother recruiting him. But I still did my due diligence. I actually took a visit to Detroit Mercy just to show respect to my hometown team. They knew I wasn't coming there. I just did it in good faith to keep the connection good with my high school coach with players who might not have been as talented as me to go to high major. They probably was a mid-major player. So I did it out of good faith just to go on a visit for the day.
Mm-hmm.
So as I went on a visit or whatever with them, they just always told me, "Hey man, you know if you want to come home, these doors are always open for you." So when Bakari called me, Willie Green had just made it to the league.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I seen Jermaine Jackson had a great career.
Yeah.
Rashard Phillips, probably the best player to ever come out of UOD history, in my opinion. You know, Rashard did great work. So I'm like, I'm just as good as these guys. You know, with all due respect, I'm like, I'm just as good as these guys. So if they can make it to the NBA from UOD, why can't I?
Yeah.
Well, that was my mindset. So, and then my homeboy James Theus, he older than me, but he transferred from Syracuse. He went to King High School. From Detroit, went to Martin Luther King High School. He transferred from Syracuse to Detroit Mercy. So that was a sales pitch they gave me. Then Chuck Bailey, he went to King. He came from Michigan University. So at the time we had 3 high major transfers. I'm come from Michigan State. James Theus come from Syracuse. Chuck Bailey come from Michigan. So I'm like, we can go up here and we can turn 6 Mile up like Jermaine and Rashard and Willie did.
Yeah.
That was my mindset. So that's what made me go there.
You went to UOD and you say you set out half that season. So that was so what? So what you?
So that was I transferred to you.
How that work? Like freshman, how that work? Like
so what happened was I left state so early. I went to state in September. That's when the class started. I left state that Christmas and New Year's break. I left. I was on the campus at Callahan in January. I left state like that. I didn't even give myself an opportunity to see how things would play out at state.
Damn.
Yeah, so I got to the campus at UAD, and I just put it in my head. I'm like, man, I'm finna go in here and turn up. I'm finna prove all the doubters wrong. You got haters. Oh man, yeah, I told you he wasn't that good. You got haters and stuff. So I'm like, I'm finna go and make this happen. I'm going to the league from off 6 Mile. That was my whole mentality. Me transferring there.
Yeah.
So that whole year I had to sit out. I was just obviously I stayed in tip top shape. I knew like so now you gotta whatever the things that you didn't do at Michigan State, when you come here, you gotta make sure you do that. I stayed in the gym, I worked out, got stronger, I played every chance I got. I went to go hoop. I don't care where it was at. Some good runs, some legit run. Well, I can work on my game. I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna play. Everything I didn't do at Michigan State, I'm gonna make sure I do it at UAD.
How was coaching, getting coached by Perry Watson?
It was good, man. Perry, he another great coach, man. I've been blessed to play with some great coaches, like from my elementary coaches to my middle school AAU coaches to my high school coach. Perry, a great coach, man. He played to he coached to everybody's strengths. Like I said, we was always in position to win the games. We had, like I said, we had film sessions. He had this he had like a great defensive scheme to slow teams down. Like Perry was one of the smartest coaches I probably played for. Him and my high school coach probably is the smartest coaches I ever played for in my life. Like they game planning on how we gonna stop this top player, how we gonna slow him down. It was top tier.
Yeah. Well, like if you could say one thing will make him different from Izzo.
Well, Perry obviously he coached a lot of city kids.
Yeah, of course.
So, he dealt different, people come from different households, different neighborhoods. Perry, coached Sean Leonard, Jalen Rose, and then me coached kids that came from the neighborhood versus Tom Izzo. I want to say Maurice Ager was his first Detroit recruit. He got Mateen and Mo Pitt, all them guys from Flint. You know what I'm saying? Draymond Green, them guys from Saginaw. They're not from the city. So Perry can probably relate to more of the inner city more than Perry. That was the only difference. Coaching wise, they neck and neck. They both are great coaches. It's just that was on a bigger platform than Perry.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right. So and I see so you played out 04 and 05 season, right? And
yeah, that was considered my freshman year. I got redshirted.
Redshirt, okay.
So that was considered my freshman year. That 05, that I played a half a season 04 and 05. Okay. So I couldn't play. I transferred that January. I couldn't play to that next January.
And you killed. You just killed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how accurate this is, but I seen you 22 points a game.
My freshman year at UAD, I was somewhere around there. Especially, I really turned it up because we had a chance to go to the NCAA tournament my freshman year. We lost by 1 point to Wisconsin Milwaukee. It was 1 point away from going to the dance. My freshman year, I won. I was first team all conference. I want to say, yeah, I was first team all conference, and I won newcomer of the year. Which I think I was supposed to. I was McDonald's coming from Michigan State.
Yeah,
I was supposed to come there and put in the work. So, but yeah, we was 1 point away from going to the dance, man, that year.
Yeah, I see it now. You say average about 20 points a game. Yeah, man. But
that's a lot, D1, man. Like if you averaging 20 points on the D1 level, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
So how that your first year, your situation with Michigan State? Now you come to UAD, had a first season, and killed. How did that make you feel?
And so my first game was against Eastern Michigan. That whole year, man, I just, like I said, I had worked my ass off that whole year, that summer. I was doing whatever I needed to do, man. Like I didn't miss no open gyms. I didn't miss no workouts. I was in the gym. I'm like, bro, I got something to prove. Cause I'm like, I already left state. So I'm finna come to the city. Like I said, I'm about to turn up. So that first year, my first game, man, I, obviously Perry didn't start me. It was my first game. Came off the bench. I played starting minutes my first game, but I had 27. Yeah, 27. I think I took 19 shots. I made 12 of them. So after I got that first game under my belt, I had 27 points. I'm like, okay, this the brand of kind of everybody accustomed to.
Right.
So from that point, that all it took was that one game, and I was right. My confidence was right there.
At that time, that first year, right? Like, I mean, because I feel like athletes have conversations or thoughts about, okay, when they could possibly leave, you know, and go to the put their name in the draft. You know, was that a conversation? Was that a thought? Maybe.
You know what? To be honest, no, it wasn't, especially after my first year, because when you playing a mid-major at that time when you playing mid-major, if you don't win for real, you gotta remember it's politics in this game. Right. So back when I was playing, you had the guys who was on TV had first dibs, stuff like that. Like I could have been better than those guys in North Carolina, but they playing in a quote unquote in people's eyes in a better conference. They playing up more on TV frequently than I'm playing. I'm never playing on TV. So if you didn't win and go to the tournament and you upset a team, chance of you getting drafted for coming from a mid-major, I probably could have took that chance because I had the politics by me being in McDonald's, me leaving Michigan State, all that stuff. It probably could have been different for me, but no, to answer your question, it wasn't a thought because I was just trying to focus on coming back next year and getting better and better. So no, I didn't think to leave after my freshman year at UD. No, I didn't.
Yeah. And so after that season, man, something in your life happened where we all go through diversity. Some things we can't control.
Yes, sir.
Talk about you the car accident. 2005, correct?
Yeah, it happened on my mom's birthday, June 5th, 2005. Like I said, I had just won Player of the Year. Price finna go into the next season is probably the preseason Player of the Year for the next year. I had one. I had just made the all conference first team. Was first team all league newcomer of the year. So the scouts had me projected to be the best player in that conference that next year.
Yeah.
At the time, my daughter's mother was still at Michigan State. My 15-year-old daughter, her mother was still attending Michigan State at the time. So me, one of my close friends, and my first cousin, we had drove to East Lansing. We had left the area where I'm from off the east side. We hopped on 96, and I just told her, I'm like, I drive because her and my cousin and my friend was dating. So I'm like, I drive up here. Then I knew all the routes to get there and stuff like that. So I got behind the wheel. We had got the 96 in Beck Road. And it started raining. I'm like, man, it's raining. I'm like, whatever. And all I heard was my cousin say, what is he doing? And I looked like over my left shoulder, and all I seen was like headlights. I don't know how it happened, man. It was the weirdest thing, man. Like it was a clear highway. I don't know if this guy fell asleep behind the wheel. I don't even know who hit me because it was a hit and run. I don't know if it was a male or female. All I know is all I heard was the tire skirting, and I just seen flashing lights where it blinded me. And they hit us. So when they hit us, I lost control of the wheel, and the car tipped over.
Oh.
The car tipped over. Obviously all the glass had shattered. We was just doing donuts in the middle of the highway. The car was just spinning upside down. So I was like literally, man, like I was literally preparing to die. I seen the spark shoot up from the bottom of the car. I just closed my eyes and just was like, this is it for me. That's what was going on in my brain. So when the car stopped, I heard my girl cousin was hollering. She was just hollering. I crawled from under the car on the broke glass because I was trying to get from under the car because I'm like, this is a dark highway. It was like at 10 o'clock at night. It was dark out there. I'm like, I don't want no car to come. And they hit us head on because they don't see the car in the middle. You're on the highway. You're doing the speed. You're doing at least 55.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, hurry up, get from under this car and get on the side of the road, so we can flag some help down. When I got up, man, I just looked at my hand, man. My hand, it was just a man. My hand, my fingers was just severely injured.
Yeah.
But I was just like, we alive. Like even when I looked at my fingers, just all in shambles. My hand was crushed. My left hand was crushed. Got part of I got part of my middle finger amputated.
Mm-hmm.
I lost part of my middle finger, and I had severe bone damage and my first three fingers. I had to wear pins from my tips all the way down, and I had to get stitched up. So when I looked at my hand, I just was like, my career over. That's the first thing that came to my mind. I was happy to be alive first,
Yeah.
but I looked at my hand. The first thing I told my homeboy, I was like, man, my career over with, bro. I'm like, it's over. And
Man.
then my cousin just lost it more when she heard me say that. And then when they looked at my hand, everybody just broke down and started crying. Cause like I said, the first thing was like, man, my playing day is over with. I can't play ball no more. I done lost my fingers.
Yeah. Man, when I heard that, man, I ain't gonna lie. And I was like, man, I hope I'll make you feel old, but I was like maybe in 7th to 8th grade, some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
And cause like I was saying, bro, like, I really liked your game, man. We was going to UOD game, every home game, just, supported John. But what I'm saying, I used to watch like, this dude right here, bro, he's nice. And I remember everybody, you could not go to UOD and they not mentioning your name, like at all.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, my stepdad came up to me like, man, Brandon, got in a car accident. And I was just hurt because it's like, damn, like, I don't know. And I got this thing with athletes when some tragic happened to them, it really just hit home. Like it hurt, like really bad.
Yeah, I do too. I do too. Same with me.
So I was just remember just like praying, like, man, I hope, maybe he can sit out, maybe give him a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But shit, you came back.
So it's funny. So it's the crazy part, man. When I got rushed to the doctor, obviously I had to get emergency surgery, to save my hand. So I woke up the next day and I just seen my hand all wrapped up and stuff. I didn't even know the damage that I did. I knew my hand was messed up. I thought my fingers was gone. Yeah. That's what I thought. I'm like, my hand, I lost some fingers.
Yeah.
So I woke up, the doctor, they read the report to me and my family, like, we did have to, one of his middle finger was too, it was severely injured. Couldn't save that part, so we had to just amputate it. So I'm like, I lost it. So I'm like, okay, I lost. It ain't as bad as I thought. And so I asked the doctor, I'm like, man, doctor, am I ever gonna be able to play ball again? And he was just like, he gave me, I don't know, look. So I'm like, for sure you're not playing this upcoming season. I just dropped my head and started crying, like, man, like I can't even play this upcoming year. Like, I just came from average 20, one point away from going to the dance. I done got back to the brand that kind of everybody get accustomed to. Now I got another back. Now I done took another hit. Well, I got to overcome some more adversity. So that just drove me, bro. Like when the doctor said I couldn't play, when I got something in my mind, bro, anybody tell you, like, when Brandon got his mind made up, he gonna do it. Like, ain't no talking him out of it. I'm got better at it now because I got my kids and I'm older, so I mature more. But back then, when I had something in my mind to do it, I'm going to do it. Like, I don't care what nobody got to say. It could be my mom, my grandma, it could be my girl, it could be anybody. I'm not going to do it unless Brandon Kyle want to do it.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm playing this year. So obviously I couldn't do nothing with the ball because I had my hand wrapped up for a good 3 months. That whole summer, my hand was wrapped up. That whole summer. But I got up, man. I was doing 2 a days. I get up and go to UOD, do my conditioning, hit the weights. I come home, eat, whatever. I stay, like I said, I'm from McAvan. Like I stayed on this block called Seaburn. I was only about 10 minutes away from Martin Luther King High School. I drive down the King track in the evening, bust me 2 miles. Like I was overworking. Like I was like, I'm coming back and I'm playing.
Yeah.
And man, obviously God, healed my hand faster. God blessed me to still be able to play because he could have took everything away from me, but he didn't see fit. So once I got the pins out of my hand for those 6 weeks I had to wear the pins, I was able to start moving my hand. I'm like, I'm gonna play. So I started taking my vitamins, just doing everything I can do. I was rehabbing strong, working hard in my rehab. I wasn't taking it light. It was painful, But I was going in there. I'm like, I got to get these fingers back moving and back working. I had to learn how to use my hand, my whole left hand again. I had to
Yeah.
learn how to use it. So I was so determined, and I did it, man. And we started school in September. I still couldn't. Touch a ball in September. I couldn't start back touching. I started touching the ball in October.
Yeah.
Even in October, Perry Watson told the team, like in the meetings, like, I don't think we go have Brandon probably about January. He got to let his hand heal up. And then everybody they had seen my hand, seen how severely I injured my hand.
Yeah.
A lot of people said I ain't gonna be the same player. He ain't gonna be as good as he was. His finger, he lost his fingers. Hurt his hand. So I'm like, I hear all the talk. I'm like, but ain't nothing gonna stop me. Like, long as God give me the ability to use my limbs and my fingers and my hands, I'm gonna do what I need to do.
Right.
And I just work my ass off, bro. Like anybody tell you, John, let me tell you, like he went hard that summer. And I came back in October and it was like I never lost a beat. Like, cause I got, thank God I didn't have any nerve damage in my fingers. I just had a lot of I lost a lot of bone cartilage was
Right.
gone from my fingers. So I came back. I taped these boys up together. I'm from the neighborhood, from the east side, man. That ain't nothing new to me playing through a little knick-knack injury. To me, once I was able to use my fingers again, I'm like, let's rock and roll. I can play. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. Like I said, I taped these boys together and I played.
So that's like that mama mentality. Kobe used to keeping broken fingers all the time and shit. But you know what? Also, too, man, like, thank God, you that was just only your hand,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was complaining, like, man, I can't play ball, but I'm like, man,
got your legs, your knees.
Like, I got my legs, I'm recognizable. I didn't die and get took away from my family. So I'm like, man, it was a bad situation for me because I was an athlete. But I'm like, dude, it's people who got into car accidents that didn't make it out. And if you would have seen a car, you'd have been like, ain't no way y'all still alive.
Right.
Then we got hit by it was a hit and run driver. It was just a bad sight, man. But like I said, man, God just blessed me, man. And to this day, man, I sit back and think about it like, man, I don't even know how I play. Like, I got injured June 5th. I was back playing in October, bro. I was supposed to sit out that. I was supposed to sit out. The doctor told me I couldn't play that. My whole sophomore year, I was gonna miss. The doctor had told me.
Like, you didn't lose a beat because I was watching you. I was like, okay, so he still looked like the same Cotton to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, like I said, I had my mind made up because I was hearing people talking like, man, he ain't gonna be the same no more. Like, I'm like, okay, well, I know what I'm doing, and I know as long as I can feel these fingers, as long as I can bounce the ball, I'm going hard. Like, so I was out there like to show people like that ain't stop nothing. And to this day, people be like, man, how you play with your hand like that? Like you said, it's more of like a Mamba mentality, that Kobe Bryant, that Jordan mentality. It was like, as long as I'm able to do it, I'm gonna get it done.
Shit, it's like Gerald Green. He played with goddamn 3 fingers or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But so like I know it's some struggles though. Even though us outside as fans, we looking at okay, he's still doing his thing. But I know it had to been some struggles because, especially your style play, like you're going to the rack a lot. So I know guys slapping your hand a lot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You still having some minor pains, other parts of your body, like. How was that a struggle physically? Like,
man, it was an adjustment because I had to get used to, first of all, playing with my fingers all taped up and wrapped up. And I'm right-handed, but I was always stronger driving left for some reason.
Okay.
I love going left. People knew that, they just could never stop it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I had to get used to just being able to control the ball, my fingers being taped up and things like that, being able to take a hit when I go to the rack. And I got hurt. I got hurt that February season. We had played against Illinois Chicago at Callahan. And like I said, my fingers really weren't all the way healed up, man. Come on now. I mean, let's just be real. They weren't all the way healed up. The doctor was just like, this guy adamant, and he a tough motherfucker. Like, let him rock. Like the doctor told me you can't do no more damage to your fingers. So you playing, you're not gonna damage your hand worse. So I'm like, okay, bet. If I can't do no more damage, I'm about to go out here and play.
Right.
So I went to the rack I had went to the rack, I came down from off a layup. I looked, I had blood. I seen blood on my shorts. Who was the home team was wearing white. I'm like, where's blood coming from? And I looked, man, and like part of where I had the pins at, it got split open because I guess I got hit a little bit too hard or whatever. It just ripped open, so I had to sit out 3 games that year. I had to get another surgery. In the middle of the season, I had to get another surgery. I had to go in there, put about 10 stitches on, and fix a part of my hand that I previously had already messed up.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't even know I had to get surgery that same season. John didn't know, obviously, but that same season I had to get another surgery.
Yeah.
That's why it cost me to miss 3 games.
Okay. So, I mean, you had a good career in UOD. You got a lot of awards, you know what I'm saying? UOD second team, Horizon League.
Mm-hmm.
You got freshman of the year, all that good stuff. Now,
I think I finished top 15 in scoring in 2.5 years. I had 1,500 points in 2.5 years. So if I'd have played all 4 years, I would have had a shot. I mean, probably not now that Davis, he passed Rashard, but I don't think nobody even got 2,000 points outside of Davis and Rashard. I could have been up there with them. If 2 more years, I would have scored 500 more points. So
yeah, for sure. So you enter your name in the draft, and now did you think the accident was going to probably mess you up going through the draft?
No, I had gotten to a situation at UOD. A lot of people don't even know I didn't even play my senior year at UOD. I forfeited my senior year. I didn't even play.
Yeah, because I was okay. I'm like,
so that's what happened, man. I had gotten to a situation at a party store, liquor store across the street. It's a liquor store across the street from UOD campus.
It is, yeah.
We had went in there one night, hanging out, kind of in there, just not doing nothing that normal college students don't do. But at the time, I'm Brandon Cotton, so whatever you do might get pointed out different than what Eric over here doing because you the face of the campus. It was billboards at the time. I was on a billboard representing Detroit Mercy. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody see Brandon Cotton acting out a character, they sent the tape to Coach Watson. And we was just in the parking lot, man. We was drinking. We weren't supposed to be drinking. We was underage drinking at the time. So Perry disciplined us. He suspended me. Like, you're not playing the first 2 exhibition games. So I'm like, no, first he was like, I'm giving y'all a drug test tomorrow. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, we weren't smoking no weed, nothing like that. We was doing normal college student stuff. We was drinking and stuff like that. So I'm like, we ain't smoking no weed or whatever. Like, you can drug test us. Drug test, like, as long as y'all pass the drug test, y'all good. Y'all ain't no suspension. Just know that I know people. And he told me, like, everything you do, I'm gonna know about it because you represent our university.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, coach, I get it. I know I messed up. I apologize, coach. I was out of character. I shouldn't have been in the parking lot drinking. I'm representing the university. We took the drug test. We passed the drug test. So I'm like, all right, cool. Which I know I was gonna pass. Went to practice. I got home. My mom, I went to my grandmother's house because we didn't have study hall that night. I went in my grandmother's house. My mom came in there. My mom was like, so what's going on with you? I know what she was talking about, but I'm like, what you mean, Mom? She like, why you suspended the first 2 games? And I'm like,
hey, before you go there, you mentioned your mom. It's funny how you said that. I knew your mom didn't play because every time I go to your games, your mom is like, you out yelling at you. Yeah, every game. I ain't never saw no shit like that from my moms. I used to see that from the
man. Like my mom is my mom, but she had me at such a young age, man. It's like she my mother, and I treat her with that respect. She's my mother, but it's like she like a big sister to me because we not that far. We only 14 years apart.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, she came in the door and she was like, because I didn't tell her. I'm like, I ain't even tell my mom this. Like, ain't nothing gonna happen. My mom's like, why you spending the first 2 games? So I go on the website, the UOD website. It said, star player Brandon Cotton is suspended the first 2 exhibition games due to team misconduct. So at this point I'm confused because I'm like, I know coach told me verbatim, like, as long as y'all drug tests come back clean, y'all good. If it happened again, then we're gonna take further action. So I called Coach Watson. I called him. This, like I said, this time I'm not trying to down talk Perry Watson. He played a big part of my life, man. I got my degree. I got my bachelor's degree from Detroit. I was successful at Detroit Mercy. So I called Coach. I said, Coach, I thought you told me if the drug test came back clean that we was good. He was like, yeah, well, the athletic director found out about it, and I had to take further action on it. So at that time, I'm looking like, well, Coach, why didn't you tell me that? Like, it was no communication. So I had just lost all trust in Perry Watson. I lost all trust in him because I felt like he undercutting me. Like, you could have just told me, hey, y'all suspended for these 2 first exhibition games. Y'all know what y'all did. This is y'all penalty. Okay, cool. I just like, I can't trust this guy, man. Like, I just like had lost trust in him. Like, I felt like it was just an underhanded move what he did to me. Yeah. You know, I was a star player for 2 years prior, his leading scorer. I was never ineligible. My grades was always solid. I never got in no trouble off the court, besides that one incident.
Right.
That we was just drinking in the parking lot. We wasn't doing nothing. We wasn't, out there doing nothing crazy. We was drinking in the parking lot outside of the liquor store. We weren't supposed to. I get it. So I just lost trust in him, man, and I didn't play my whole senior year. I didn't even play because I'm like, you suspended me. It's all on the internet. It's all in the newspaper that I'm suspended. It was a bad look on me for my character-wise. Mind you, I already left Michigan State. So the scouts want to know, like, why he leave state so soon? Is this kid a head case? What's going on with him?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could justify leaving Michigan State because as long as you go to UOD, you put in the work. Okay, it happened. Michigan State wasn't a good fit for him. For whatever reason, he had a good career at UOD. Yeah. But when that happened to me, when Perry suspended me without telling me, and I had to find out through the media, I was like, I'm gone, man. I can't play for this guy. But not knowing, you're not hurting Perry, you're only hurting yourself.
That's the thing, yeah.
Perry set in stone. He said he's on his way to retire. He done coached plenty of guards that's just as good as you. Like he set in stone. This your career that you let go by leaving.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand. I'm like, well, I'm Brandon Cotton. I averaged almost 20 points a game at D1 level. Somebody I'm gonna go to the draft camp and I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna go, not knowing they're gonna contact Perry and ask Perry. We know Brandon can play. We hear scouting. We know he can play, but how is he off the court though? What's up with his character and things like that. When you that young, you don't understand that that's what scouts do. They wouldn't be at the gym if you couldn't play. They know you can play. They're watching you. But they go see like, okay, is he worth investing in though? Like we gotta get the inside scoop on this kid.
Yeah.
So I just felt like Perry was just gonna dog me out to the media and stuff like that, dog me out to scouts. So I just ran like, man, I'm gone. I don't want to play for him. And I had a right to be upset I got suspended without knowing. But me leaving and not playing that whole year, I could have sucked it up and played for those 2 or 3 months. I mean, what was he gonna do? Not play me? I was the best player. I was preseason player of the year in the conference. So I should have just stuck it out and did what I had to do. But I made a rational decision and I left without thinking it through. I let my emotions get the best of me. And I got forfeited my senior year. That's not common to any scout. They gonna want to know this guy's been the best player, one of the best players in this conference, best player on this team. Why would he not play a senior year? That's alarming. Yeah. If I'm a scout, that's gonna be alarming to me.
Hell yeah.
So that hurt me not playing my senior year. That really, really hurt me.
Yeah, because I remember I was like, damn, because I was confused. I'm like, damn, okay, was this season his senior or did he just declare to leave early? Because I didn't even hear nothing about that. Maybe I was.
Yeah, I quit. Like not to sugarcoat it. I quit. I quit. I didn't play.
Yeah. I
lost trust in Perry. Bakari Alexander had left. I didn't have nobody really to confide into at the time. Even Speedy Walker, he played a big part. He told me, he's like, B, just stay, man. Like, don't you came too far to not finish the job. You at the finish line. All you gotta do is go through the ropes. You here. So I wasn't trying to hear. I was stubborn. Like, man, no, man, he's suspending me behind my back, man. I don't trust this guy. I don't want to play for him no more. I just don't trust him.
Yeah.
And I did what I thought was the best thing for me at that time.
It's he was undrafted. Like, did you thought at that time? Did you thought maybe like, all right, I'm good enough to at least be a second round draft pick or something? But did it throw you off guard that you didn't get drafted at all? Like,
It threw me off guard. Man, it really threw me off guard. To this day, I don't know, why. I believe it was scouts probably like he left Michigan State and then played his senior year at Detroit Mercy. Like, dang, do we want to invest in a kid like this?
right,
Kid seemed like he got some things going on. I'm just thinking what a scout would think, And so, my guy, I hooked up with a guy named Kevin Scott, and he got me a job overseas. My first time, I went to Dominican Republic. I'm like, man, look, bro. I'm like, I ain't getting a shot at the league. Like, I ain't get invited to no free draft camps. I can't get in because I didn't play my senior year. I made a big mistake. I'm like, but my passion and my drive was still there. And so he got me a job over in Dominican Republic, and I really had a chip on my shoulder. Then I'm like, oh man, like okay, like I didn't finish up at UAD my last year. I forfeited my senior year. I'm finna go over here and destroy. Like I went over there, bro. I was scoring like 50, 40 over there. Like I was just on a tear
yeah,
over there. But it was like my value had went down because it's a what have you done lately for me type of game
it
I
is.
was in. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to the DR, it was like, okay, you can keep getting jobs overseas. Yeah, you can keep getting these jobs, but you going to the league probably gonna be slim to none because of your track record. Left state early, left UAD. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I think the sudden moves I made is the reason I didn't get an NBA look. It had nothing to do with my game. Like
Yeah,
anybody tell you that's honest with they selves, they'll tell you like, no, it had nothing to do with Brandon game. He just made some rational decisions. He made some wrong turns down the line.
yeah, man. The older I get, the I realize that the NBA's ain't no different from the goddamn feds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I remember I was watching this video with Isaiah Thomas. I'm not Detroit Pistons Isaiah Thomas, but Isaiah Thomas, Boston
For
Celtics,
the little guard,
yeah,
yeah.
the little guard. I
Mm-hmm.
remember, he had a group of kids at his house, and he was telling you like, look, your every move is very important. It's people out here with fake accounts will
Yep.
follow you, just waiting for you to fuck up.
Yep.
You know what I'm
Just
saying?
wait. Just wait, man.
And a lot of times, man, you see with these athletes, man, they think they some of them they just feel like they can't be touched, they invisible. Like when I see guys like Henry Ruggs, you know what I'm saying? The situation, he got in a car accident a couple years ago that now into his look like it's going to end his NFL career.
Yep.
You seeing guys like John Morant who won't like I hope he get it together like cuz
Yeah, I do too. I'm a big fan. I hope you do too, man. I'm a big fan of him.
like you see these guys, saying, they just feel like, they just like nobody can touch them. Like they feel like nobody can tell them nothing, bro. But you don't want to, I just don't want these guys to be, saying they get humbled the hard way, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
but you know what? Like I told you earlier, man, everything we all go to, it build character, you know what I'm saying? Like what are you doing now are you doing anything for the younger players now, like trying to like give them game? I know you got to be still involved with the game, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah. So back in 2016, if you Google my name, it's an article. I work with this program called Neighborhood United. It's this guy named Will Smith. Is he the founder of Neighborhood United? It's a program based out of Harper Woods,
Mm-hmm.
small little city. It's basically Detroit, same thing, small little few blocks. Harper Woods. He's a former retired police officer. He did a summer camp, and we went to the same barber. And obviously, I'm from Detroit. He remembered me, said, "Hey man, I'm a fan of your game. I got a program. I want you to come help me run my program." And at that time, man, I don't know how the news found out about it. The news came up there. They interviewed me, gave his program a bunch of publicity. It was a 6-week program for third through ninth graders. It was third through ninth graders, and we would have the Harper Woods boys varsity team work during the summer, to keep them out of trouble and help mold the young kids. So we would give each player like a group of kids to work with. We'd pay them a few bucks, and we'd give them a pair of shoes when the camp is over with. It was more so to keep them busy, keep them around the game of basketball all summer. So when the upcoming school year they'd be ready to rock and roll. So I was his main instructor. I was his head trainer with his program. I did that. I worked with him every summer. Obviously, until COVID hit.
Yeah.
COVID shut everything down. COVID changed. I'm quite sure COVID changed something in everybody's life.
Yeah,
So when COVID hit, we never picked back up since COVID. COVID came, and we'll be getting it going this July again. He already contacted me. We'll get it back going. I just got done running a 6-week program. I started in February. This past February, I did that distinctive college prep. It's a school in Harper Woods. Also, I work with this company called Eagle Sports. They do a lot of work at Baldock Park. It's a small park on the east side, where a lot of people go play baseball. You can go run a hill. It's a good conditioning field over there. So I connected with this company called Eagle Sports, and he got me in front of some kids, some middle school kids. I just did a 6-week program out of there for 6 weeks. So I did a mentoring program. I told them about everything. Once they hear you play with LeBron, you play with Shannon Brown, you play with Chris Paul. Like once they hear you play with NBA Hall of Famers, legends, they want to know like why you ain't making it to the NBA. So, I just told them, hey, I made instead of me turning right, I turned left. I kept it real with them.
yeah,
Because like I said, man, my job now is to my passion and my desire for basketball is still at a very high level. My outlook on the game is different than a lot of people. Whether I don't know if that's right or wrong, but I can never get into coaching because I'm just too competitive. And I think times has changed a little bit now, where it's like if a player doesn't match my competitive drive, I don't know if I want to be a part of it because losing something I can't tolerate.
fact.
I just can't tolerate losing, man. So
we gotta get you as a head coach though. They need
yeah, man. So I'm trying to break that and break that mental state. Like it's not all about Brandon Cotton, it's all about helping the next kid. Like I don't mind training the kid. I train any kid. Like a parent reach out to me, hey man, can you train my son? Man, we can go outside to the park.
Yeah.
Like I work with your kid. I'm all about helping the player develop their game and all that stuff. I'm trying to get in the mindset to go and get my own AAU team, start coaching and stuff like that, man, because I think these kids need more of a guy who actually played at a very high level versus a guy who might know the game very well and they coach it. I think hands-on, like this guy played at a high level, like you in good hands. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting to that point, man. I'm starting to get more patient and know that times has changed. We can't go in a time chamber and make your air they air. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to work with what you got now. So I'm starting to get there. And to be honest, I think I'm ready to take that step and to start coaching. I think I am.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I just like seeing dudes doing their thing out here. You know what I'm saying? And I don't look at you less than us, but the guy I see you on TV, bro. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Bro, I appreciate that too, bro.
I tell people in a heartbeat, like, look, you know what I'm saying? When it comes to like God just telling the guy that I witnessed, like I actually went to the game and I witnessed, like I put you in there. I remember I first saw OJ Mayo in person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was one of the best basketball players I seen in person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, bro, like players like you, people like you is very needed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because we like to put the glitz and glance on the superstar players, but it's like, no, bro, it's a lot of players that was probably better than these guys. But, some of them, went to the wrong direction. Some of them, things happen in their life they just can't control. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
We cannot throw these players under the bus. We got to bring them back into the light, saying the best way we can.
Man, it's so many people, bro, that be like, man, you ain't coaching nowhere. Like, man, I can't believe you ain't coaching. And I used to be like, man, I'm not fit to coach, but it's more so like, bro, you got too much knowledge not to give back. Training ain't enough. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's why he asked me, like, yeah, you train the kids, that's cool. You developing players, you still around the game, that's good, but you should be on a bigger platform. You should be, you should be running your own AU program or running your own. You should be having a good high school program. So I started looking at it as more like, man, it's just like, dude, you kind of like being selfish a little bit. Like you got too much knowledge not to actually coach a team.
Facts, bro. You know,
You know?
yo, you still got your calling is still out there, bro. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just want anybody to look. You're not just defined as one thing. You know, so that was just a part of your chapter of your life. You know, and I still look at you as like me interview right now is amazing for me. You know what I'm saying? So
Appreciate it, bro. I really, man, you don't know how that make me feel, man. I ain't played no competitive ball, man, since like 2012, man. So
yeah,
for you to say that, you know what I'm saying? That's still like, I appreciate that, bro. Like I said, anybody that knows me, man, they'd say like, man, Brandon, probably one of the most humble stars I've ever met. Like it would be games at my high school. I'd be on the front page of the news section.
mm-hmm.
I'd be headline before the Detroit Pistons. And I just be like, man, I don't care about that. Like, I know what I did last night. I'm trying to go to the league. I'm trying to make it to this level. Like, I was never content. Kind of like when they asked Kobe at the won game 2 in 09 finals against Dwight Howard now. And it's like, Kobe, you're not excited, you're not this. And he was like, for what? It was like, because you up 2-0. He's like, the job not done.
Y'all not done.
What's to be excited about? Job not finished.
Right.
So that was my whole attitude in high school. Like, job not done.
Yeah.
So all that being in McDonald's, all this, Brandon Cotton didn't see that he on the front page of the newspaper. Job wasn't done.
Job wasn't done. Yeah, man. So before we go, man, I got some fun questions for you. I cannot have a basketball player and not ask your top 5 players of all time. Your top 5.
My top 5. No order.
No order.
I judge a player. So this is how I judge a player. I'm gonna ask you a question, bro, but this is how I judge players. I judge players off, obviously they winning, but I combine winning with stats. I don't just take one and put them over the other because Bill Russell gonna be the best player, right? He got the most rings.
Right.
So I combine your individual accolades with your rings. So to answer your question, Jordan, Kobe, Magic, I gotta throw LeBron in there, and it's I gotta go Kareem. So yeah, so I got Magic, I got Jordan, Kobe, LeBron. And what I miss out? Oh yeah, Kareem.
Mine is Kobe for sure, LeBron, Jordan. Man, look, I don't think people respect Tim Duncan enough. I put Tim Duncan, and I pick Shaq.
So, like, without a doubt, my top 3 was always gonna be. My top 3 always gonna be Magic, Jordan, and Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
I struggle with that 4 and 5 because I struggle with. But you got to put LeBron in there, man. He got the rings. He got all them. He got the MVPs. He got the. Come on, bro. You have to put him in there. Even though I'm not a fan of his game personally, I'm not. But what he done for the game, I respect for everything he's done for the game of basketball.
I respect that.
But I struggle. I just that's honest opinion. But I struggle between Curry and Kareem and Tim Duncan. Those 3 are my top 5. I struggle because Curry changed the game of basketball. He totally, just like Magic changed it, Curry did it too.
Yeah.
Magic, Jordan and Curry changed the game of basketball. They put their own flavor on basketball. So it's hard to lead them out the top 5.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to lead like everybody want to play. You see all these kids now, they shoot. Everybody trying to be a Steph Curry shooting from the parking lot.
Man.
It's like I tell people all the time, like, you don't never hear a player say, I wanna play like. You don't see a guy out there trying to mimic LeBron game.
Mm-hmm.
But you see guys trying to mimic Curry game all the time, right? Yeah. So when I was coming up, they was trying to mimic Magic with the passing. So it's like Jordan in the air, switch your hands. So it's kind of like, you know what I'm saying, when you change, when them three guys change the game of basketball, I don't care what nobody say, they revolutionized the game of basketball in their own separate ways they have. So I struggle, man. Like I said, it's so many greats that play, bro. It's hard to name a top five. I hate doing it, but those are my top five, bro. So for the record, for everybody who will say I'm this hater, so my top five is Jordan, Kobe. I'm gonna say it again. It's Jordan, it's Kobe, it's Magic, it's LeBron, it's Kareem. Those are my top five.
Hey, I ain't mad at that. I got two more. All right, so now this is pretty much kind of the same answer. I mean, same question, but different. All right, you on the blacktop. You need is you and four other players. Who you taking? It ain't gotta be an NBA player. You know what I'm saying? It could be really anybody. But people gotta know that blacktop is different. Like
yeah, because it's a lot of guys I played against that was that. Man, obviously I'm a scorer, so we don't need too many scores. So I'm gonna go with you. Got to give me a true point guard. I got to go with Magic.
mm-hmm.
Magic is like the greatest point guard to me. I got to roll with Magic. I got to get Shaq, the most dominant player besides Jordan I've ever seen in my life. People say it's Wilt. Yeah, you can say that, but he ain't. Come on, man. Shaq did it. He three-peated. He was scoring 40 and 20. Like, he the most dominant player I've ever seen in my life besides Michael Jordan and Shaquille O'Neal.
Facts.
So I need Magic. I need Shaq. I need Kevin Durant. I need another scorer.
Who's stopping
man?
that?
And get me.
You need
I need some. I need give me Duncan, man. Give me Tim Duncan. I need some size. I need somebody that's gonna block shots, that's gonna rebound, that's gonna do all the small things. Duncan did it all. He rebounded, he blocked shots, he did it all.
All right, man. Last question, man. If you could, I don't know, save this goddamn time machine, right? And you could go back and give young Brandon Cotton some advice. What is some advice? What is some advice you would tell him?
Man, that's a great question. Stay the course, man. Stay the course. Listen to people who love. Listen to your parents. Listen to your coaches. Like, listen. Like, it might not be what you want to hear. You know, you might totally disagree. Like, no, but man, I'm here. I'm witnessing firsthand. If I just would have listened, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know God don't make no mistakes, man. So I live with regret about the decisions I made, but life goes on. I mean, I got kids to live through now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I got my degree from there, did things, I was a teacher before, worked in the education field, man, things like that, man. I got many talents. So, I would just stay the course, man. I would never start something and not finish it. Whatever I started, I will finish it, whatever it may be. So, quitting not an option, leaving, running, and stuff like that. That's one thing I would take back, man. I just stay the course, bro. Like, if I went to Michigan State, stay at Michigan State, do all you can do. Now, if you do all you can do and ain't working out, then maybe it's time for you to make a different decision. But once you realize that you've done all you can do, and you can honestly look in the mirror and say, I did everything I could probably control. I can control that was in my control. I would have did that. So yeah, I would have just stay the course, bro. Just start something to finish it. Don't. When you all over the place, man, that's no people. In people's eyes, you had no stability.
Yeah, I think one thing I saw LeBron say. I think it was a group of kids, but I would also hear other NBA players. They would ask, like, what is some advice LeBron give them? Keep the main thing the main thing. You know what I'm saying? Keep the main thing. You know what I'm saying? If there's something that you know you got a passion for, that you feel like you're a natural at, it could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Keep the main thing the main thing.
If you're a basketball player, be a basketball player. Don't try to be a rapper. Don't try to do this if you're a basketball player. Be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Be who God calls you to be. That's just that simple.
That's simple. Brandon Cotton, my brother, thank you.
Appreciate you, man. I really appreciate you, bro. I needed this, man, because see, a lot of people don't even know. Like you ain't even know. Like, a lot of people don't even know my story, man. A lot of people, for years, man, I let people just say what they want to say, assume what they want to assume, or Brandon Cotton, he a big fuck up, or he, man, motherfucker just fucked up. Man, yeah, who didn't make a mistake in their life? Who didn't? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, But I let people say they want to say, assume what they gotta assume about me, man. Like my loved ones, man, my children, man, you know, like my family, man, my mom, and man, like long as I got them in my corner, bro, I don't care. Man, excuse my language, I don't give a fuck what nobody think about me, bro. Like I'm just being real about it, bro. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's not being arrogant or cocky. Like if you ain't helping but to take care of my kids or helping to better me, giving me some good advice to help myself, all that negative shit, man, keep that shit to yourself. I don't really be into that, bro. So yeah, man, that's just where I'm at with it, bro. So a lot of people don't know my story, and that's why I was more reluctant. You told me to come and let's talk. I'm like, yeah, let's talk, because a lot of people want to know what happened to Brandon Cotton, what happened at UD, what happened at State. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, bro, them like stuff that happened there it was a variety of things, but I just wanted to get on here and clear the air with that.
Absolutely, man. I mean, I can't wait to work with you moving forward. But yeah, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you. You know, and we definitely will see you again for sure.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, y'all, man. That was a good interview, man. Good interview, man. Shout out to Brandon Cotton again, man. One of my favorite players growing up. Make sure y'all like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. We growing, man. This summer, I'm gonna go hard this summer. But yeah, man. This is Sports Talk with Rob, man. We out this thing. Peace.